Hey all, I'm coming to you on a lovely Tuesday afternoon and approximately a week after the Alton, Sterling, and Philandro Castile shootings. And, I just want to give you a little perspective on what's going on here in China as, people of color, black people, as well as black Americans are, and how it's affecting them. Um, you know, as the news breaks, you can't help but to feel outraged, and you're like, not again. And I happened to had seen the Philandro Castile. I'm not sure if it was live or maybe a few minutes after it happened when I saw the video, and I was like, of course, completely outraged. And I think I'll give you my personal perspective, obviously, but for me, I feel like I've had friends that are police officers, and I've always been taught by my parents to be respectful, and I'm of course respectful to everyone that I meet. But like after seeing the Philandro Castile incident happen, and seeing that this man who has no criminal record and was completely respectful still got shot down because of his fear, and then hearing like the aftermath, like, oh, it's a suspect, oh, he was a suspect of a robbery and he had a wide set nose. It's like you can't help but to feel like hurt. Like, you feel like even though you're a normal person, you go to your job, you might have kids, you might say hi to the neighbors and you do a normal quote unquote thing, just because of your features and just because of the way the media or way that black people are portrayed throughout every aspect that you see. Like it makes you feel, I don't know, it made me feel so hurt inside. It was like that's what I felt the most fear of, because I'm just like, this guy was respectful. He alerted the officer so he felt at ease. But because of this criminalized perception that people have of black people, it still ended in tragedy. So going into China is just like, you have an uproar of, black people coming together, which is like, I think what we need to do. I think not just black people. I think, and everyone's been saying this, that people need to come together and go against injustice, because this is what's happening. It's an injustice. And I attended a vigil, and like, you try in China, you can't protest at all. There's no kind of protest that could happen because the government will kick you out. Like, they don't want, and although this had nothing to do, it doesn't have anything to do with China. There's a lot of people that had fear, like, oh, if I go there and I stand, or I, speak out against what's going on in the States, then, I have too much at stake in China for me to get kicked out. And because of this thought, we had a silent vigil and in the Lujiasui area, where it was you could see like I'll put some pictures on this video so you could see. And it was, for me, it was deep, just because like just because of where I grew up, and like because of the thoughts that I had, like just because, yeah, the way I'll just put it as the way I grew up. I've never felt so connected to the black community before. It makes me feel so much pride and so much love in my community, that people came together. And it really touched me that we talked about our fears, like why we came out today and why we came out to the vigil, and we read off some of the names of victims of police violence, and thus in these past 7 months alone, and how many victims there was, is that the media doesn't tell you about, is crazy. Like, I remember one of the attendees gave a list, and it was like every person. It was I think 10 or 12 people that had come to the vigil, and we were reading off lists for at least 30 to 45 minutes, and it was just names of people, like people that haven't been mentioned before, and it was unbelievable to me. So it gave me more passion to really be a community. Like, think about how we can work together to fix this, as not only as a people, well, not specifically specifically as a Black community, how we can make our community stronger, and number two, as a people, like what can we do so there's no more injustice? Like, who can we talk to? Who do we connect with so we could make sure there's an understanding that, like, you know, Black lives do matter. And now, just because my blog is about dating, I want to bring this into a dating kind of context. Unfortunately, me and Ted haven't seen each other in the past 2 weeks, just because his parents came by and he was spending time with his parents, and then his cousin came by that he hasn't seen in almost a year, so he's been spending time with them. And of course, I understand, I have my own stuff to do, and it's we haven't had a time to talk about it. I just mentioned, like, you know, another Black man got shot, and he was like, oh, you know, I'm really sorry to hear that, and we didn't really talk about it. But I think in terms of people that are dating interracially specifically, it might be hard, like, especially if you date someone like that has some kind of, like, it's a, like, okay, oh, it's all white people, or oh, it's police officers, oh, it's blah blah blah. If you have someone that you're dating that doesn't see it from the Black perspective, I believe that maybe they won't understand completely, but they should in a way commiserate with you. And I mean in this respect, like, not defend the fact that, oh, this happened or that happened, like, because I remember I've dated guys where, in terms of, like, not so much in the police brutality, because thank God I've never had an issue with the police officer. I just had one incident where I had did an illegal U-turn, which is my fault. I paid the ticket, or actually, yeah, I paid the ticket and everything like that. But it was one officer came, and he was waiting, like, he came, and then another officer came, and they had two officers, and I'm like, you know, a female, like, I didn't do anything. I had my, hands on the wheel, respectful, like, officer, what did I do wrong? All that kind of thing. And he was basically like, oh, we're going to give you this ticket, but, make sure you don't do this again. We could have given you, like, a bigger ticket, but we're only going to let you off with this kind of thing. And he was really respectful, and I was, like, very thankful to him. And it happened, I just want to point out, it was, like, two African-American police officers, and then, because I had a busted taillight, later, another police officer stopped me, and I told him, like, oh, I had gotten this ticket in New Jersey. Can you, like, he's like, okay, just make sure you get it fixed before you, come back tomorrow so you don't get another ticket. So, sorry, I'm rambling. Basically, what I want to say is that, in terms of racism and things, like, you shouldn't, like, your partner shouldn't try to dismiss it. And I've had that before when someone has said, like, I went for a job interview once, and I told them, like, blatantly, they didn't hire me because, like, I talked to the girl on the phone, and, she was really excited to meet me, and I don't sound quote unquote Black, or whatever that means, whatever stupidity that means. And she saw me, and basically her demeanor changed after she saw me, and you could tell it's just because I was Black. And I told my partner this at the time, and he was just like, oh, well, not everything has to do with racism, blah, 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 blah. It's not that kind of thing. Every Black people always want to say that everything, this is racism and that's racism. And in that respect, it's like, of course, he's never experienced it, and this guy happens to be white, and there's times, like, okay, one, like, you don't need that, especially if you wanted the job. Like, I really wanted this job, and it was basically destroyed because of this woman's thoughts. And number two, you can't, I think in that respect, you should be, he should have been like, oh, what makes you think that? Can you explain the situation for me? I've never experienced this before, instead of completely dismissing it. And if your partner is dismissing that, they're not dating you for you, and they're not trying to understand your situation. They're not, because it's out there, it's real. Like, I don't think, like, there's some people that are like, oh, Black people are just wanting you to be victims of everything, and it's not so much that, it's not that at all. It's just that we want people to see that these things are real. Like, we don't make this up. No one wants to be, there's some people that, yes, are dramatic, like in life. I don't mean like black people, but like these things are real. Like there's people that don't get hired for jobs. They see like, oh, your hair is this kept and we want these kind of things. Or oh, we like a certain look for our people to display to our clients, and that's a I forget the word I'm looking for, but it's indicative that these people don't want you because of your race. And just if your partner takes the time to really sit down and talk to you and understand, so like try to put they'll never truly understand, but put themselves in your shoes, and that's truly a partner that really cares about you as a person and wants to know your trouble and wants to see how, as maybe like my boyfriend's Chinese, as a Chinese person, as a white person, as a Hispanic person, as a whoever kind of person, put themselves in your shoes and try to help you and see how they can help the dialogue along. So yeah, that's like my rant for the day. Look forward to some more videos about like some funny things about China and Tinder versus Tantan video. See you guys later. Bye bye.
Hi, my name is Dexter. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I'm here because the epidemic of violence against people of color in the United States has gotten to unbearable proportions for me. And I felt that even though I'm half a world away, I had to do something to express what I was feeling in a productive way.
I'm Sadia, I'm from Virginia, USA, and I'm here today because of myself, and not to be selfish, but oh fuck, I don't know what to say. I guess I'll just say I'm here because as I see America now and what I thought America stood for, which is freedom, equality, I'm sad because that's a big lie. For my dad, for my brother, there definitely is no equality or freedom for them. So I'm here for them. I'm here for black people all around the world.
Thank you very much. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Abina. I am here to support the Blacklivesmatter movement. I'm here to take a stand. I am here because all this chaos that's going on back home in the U.S. needs to stop. I'm here to express my support. I might not physically be there, but I'm with you guys 100%. It needs to stop. My brother, my family could be the next victims. I'm here to show my support and actually show people that this white and black racial bias thing that's going on, we are all human. It should not be based on color.
Thank you very much.